Limited upside down leaves. What's going on, YouTube? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Welcome to Texas Podcast. Thank you for all the day ones, all the new subscribers, all the likes, all the feedback, all the comments, all the support. Thank you so much. I guess instead of getting to the truth, people are happy with fake content, fake exposure. I was getting comments, right, about trying to find the truth, get to the bottom of it. But I see people, they like fake content. They like fake content. They like fake exposing stuff. It's fake narrative and fake content. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to be on board when it's fake content. Everybody wants to jump on board and be like, oh, market's getting exposed. Market's getting exposed. And let's say if it is true that Mark got caught with a transgender or a transformer, who cares? That's that man's sexual preference. If you're exposing him for what he likes to do on his off time, man, you got some issues, bro. If you worried about where Mark is putting his piece in, you got some issues. We all know Mark is fruity. We know Mark is fruity. But what we don't know is, was he taking it by force or not? Was he taking it willingly or unwillingly? I don't care how many transformers they caught Mark in a closet with or in a room. I could care less about the man's sexual preference. I could care less. Now, I'm trying to bring y'all the truth. And everybody's, oh, Noel, you're trying to be like a bully. It sounds like you're being a bully. But then we come over here and we go with the fake content narrative. Who cares about this man's sexual preference? This man is not on trial or kangaroo court for being gay. He's on kangaroo court trial for taking it against their will. It's a mockery, man. Mark's all for it now, you know what I mean? They think by some kind of exposure, oh, you see, we exposed him. What's going on, Deca? We exposed Mark being with the people. First of all, Mark doesn't have no film crew following Mark around. You got June, unless you got June and Dante video recording 24 hours. So how did this exposure come to? How? Did Mark sit there and record himself? Hey, look, hey, everybody, I'm exposing myself. Leave me alone. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense with these fake spared content of fake news. The narrative has never been, is Mark gay or not? We know the dude's gay. We know Mark is gay. So you can catch him. You can catch him with 3, 4, 5, and how many different positions you want. We know he's gay. But what we don't know is there actually victims out there? That's what we want to know. Is that truth? carry less if Mark is a power bottom, he likes to swallow. Hey, that's his preference. That's what he wants to do. Hey, to each his own. My problem is the victims. I could care less what Mark does on his free time. I could care less. If Mark likes to be a pillow biter, or whatever Mark likes to do on his free time, as long as there's not a victim, hey, to each their own. So, if you're going to expose the victims, bring the victims out to say, hey, you know what? We know Mark is gay. We know you're gay, bro. But we don't know if what you're being alleged of doing is true. That's what we want to know. We don't want to know if Mark's fruity. We already know he's fruity. So, if you think by so-called exposing his preference, y'all need to go back to the drawing board. Y'all need to go back to the drawing board. I get it, man. I get it. I get it. Y'all want to make content. I get it. I get that. I get that. My job as a content creator would have been alley hoop that, right? Hey, Mark's out there. As a content creator, I should have jumped on the bandwagon, right? Hey, Mark got exposed with Peanut in a hotel room. That ain't got nothing to do with it, man. That don't have nothing to do with it. That is irrelevant. Yeah, see. And what a coincidence. Or what a coincidence. He got hacked. So you're not gonna try to cop out to the lesser charge. You're not gonna cop out to the lesser charge. I've never cared on your sexual preference. If that was the case, I would have cared about Just Jay. I would have said, hey, Just Jay, hey, man, look, I don't rock with your preference, so you can't be on my show. You can't be on my channel. I don't care about another man's sexual preference. I care about, were you taking it by force or willingly? Now, if this Peanut said, hey, Mark held me down, he wouldn't let me go, well, then I'd be interested. I'd be like, fuck, Mark got himself a victim out here. He got himself a victim out here. But no. If Mark likes his, as long as Mark is not victimizing, I could care less what he does with his mouth, his organs, or whatever he does. So you gotta understand the plays. You can't cop out to the lesser of the evil. It don't work that way. I'm not gonna let it ride. I'm not gonna fly with it. I'm not gonna pick up on the know what? Mark got caught with peanut. I don't care how many peanuts Mark got caught with. Unless Peanut was a victim. If Peanut was a victim, then I'm interested in the story. Then if Peanut's not a victim, I don't care if Mark bent him over, legs up, rusty trombone. I don't care. That ain't for me to want. Now that's going a little bit beyond now. People are like, oh, you're kind of obsessed. And no, that's more freakier. Now you're worried about what another man's doing with his piece. If there ain't a victim, I don't care what Mark does. But I'm talking about a victim in Mark's eyes, man. As far as Mark being a victim, the predator, there's a lot of people that have, messed up childhoods. A lot of them. But we're here to know if Mark was taking it by force. Not if he's gay or not. We know he's fruity. We know that much. We know that much that no straight man is going to get on camera and say all that fruity stuff. We know that much. But what we don't know is if it's true. Was he really doing all that shit? And the only people that know are the people that were there. So, as far as Mark getting caught in a room with a transformer, that has no value or substance to clearing up his name. If anything, that makes that guy look, hey, if he's out here indulging, then most definitely the documentary's true. Because he's out here living the life that he was living in there. So that's bad. So if they thought that was going to help this case out, in reality, man, you can't cop out and plead to the lesser of the charge, to the lesser of the evil. No. Just because you say, hey, exactly. Mark was doing all that shit in there, man. God told you. What they're doing right now is trying to make Mark plead out to the lesser of the crime. We can't get you for unaliving, so we give you a manslaughter. I was feeling kind of bad for Mark, but I see these dudes don't give a fuck about him, and he's along for the ride. So I was being kind of hesitant. I was being kind of hesitant. I'm like, man, fuck, what, man. But I see that Mark don't give a fuck about his life. He don't give a fuck. And by the way I say he don't give a fuck is that he's continued being a mockery out of it. How would you sit there, videotape yourself, send that tape to Dante or June for they can make a mockery out of you? These guys don't have, they have a video that somebody recorded, pre-recorded. So it was pre-planned. Hey, look, let's record each other. We're gonna make content. No, no, no. As a human being, man. As a human being. As a human being, you know what I mean? Because it's up to the people you harm to forgive you, right? And if you harm people and you're able to make amends with them because they're still alive, but what about the people that unalive somebody and they can't make amends with them people no more? They can't tell that person, hey, I'm sorry for what I did to you. I'm not that longer that person no more, man. So I see it as a human being. You know what I mean, man? It's not, if the victim comes out and says, hey, Mark, I forgive you for what you did to me. Who am I to say, hey, you can't do that, man? I don't like that. If Mark didn't do the shit to me, he did it to the victim. Now, if the victim's able to find it in their heart to forgive him and move on, then who am I to say other? Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the only people that can make amends, man, are the people that you affect. The people that you affect are the ones that you can only make amends to. And then everybody else on the sidelines shouldn't really matter as long as you're able to make amends with the people you affected. And that's why I'm like, I got a text message saying, hey, they found Mark with Peanut. I'm like, oh man, these guys don't give up, man. If they really want to expose and get to the truth, get to the truth. We're not here questioning about his preference. We already know what his preference is. We already know. We already know. But what we don't know, was he taking it? We know he's a fruit cup. We know he likes boys. We know all that stuff. So it shouldn't be a surprise to anybody that he's out here indulging. I don't I don't see that happening. I don't I don't I don't see just Mark just stopping what he was doing in prison and not do it out here in the free world. Oh no, no nobody be. I just see that they're instead of trying to get to the truth, they just want to make a false narrative. I guess they're gonna. I just seen a little bit of the live, and they told me that they were going to expose Mark for being with a transformer or something. But if you're going to expose Mark, expose him for what we don't know. We already know Mark's fruity. And who cares of what Mark does on his free time? As long as he ain't victimizing anybody. Now that's being bully. That's bully. Those tactics, shaming somebody for their preference, it's almost like guilt shaming, victim shaming. I've never attacked Mark for his sexual preference. It's always, did you do it against the will or not? That's been it. So him being found or videotaped with a person from his community, what does that have to do with anything? You should be getting down to the root. Is there victims or not? Is there victims or not? Who cares who he sleeps with? If he's gay, he's gay. What we want to know, does he have victims or not? Yes or no? Yeah, and that's what we're concerned about right there. If Mark likes to indulge with boys out here or transgenders or whatever he likes to do, that's him. So it's like, just imagine a straight man and you have let's say you like thick woman and you're happy with thick woman. You love you some thick woman. But then your buddies are like, oh man, why you like him so big? Why you like him so big? That's like bullying me and shaming into what I like. It might not be your cup of tea, but why do you have to make me the butt of your joke? You already see what I'm going through. Half of the world thinks I'm a fucking predator, and you ain't helping me out no better by making me feel myself. Like, that's how gullible Mark is. They told him, hey, you need to film yourself doing something so it can go viral. We can stop talking about the victims. We can start talking about Peanut in you, on how you like greasing up Peanut, on how you like massaging Peanut's feet. Who wants to know the interactions of another fucking man? We want to know victim or not. Simple. If you want to go watch how another man interacts with you got plenty of material that you can go over there, Google, and sit and enjoy your show if that's what you're interested in. So don't let these people spin y'all any kind of fake narrative or fake content. I get it. People want to make money. I get that. I don't want to make money. I want to know the truth. Mark's getting the boot game run on him right now by Dante and June. God soldier. Who cares of what this guy is doing on his free time? If this dude's gay for the stay out here, who are we to tell him other? As long as he ain't victimizing anybody, hey, to each their own. But for these characters to try to sit there and be like, oh man, we exposed them. Y'all exposed what? What did y'all expose? What? Too much fake narrative. You see, bully tactics. That channel, that's all it does. Bully tactics. Now they're belittling Mark because on who Mark likes to sleep with. If Mark likes to sleep with guys, leave him alone. As long as those guys are not victims, What do we care? I don't care. As long as they ain't victims, as long as they're not saying, you know what, Mark didn't let me come out the room. He held me against my will. And I'd be like, fuck, Mark's doing the same shit he was doing locked up. He's doing it out here. What? Let me talk to this Peanut. But if Peanut's going to tell me, oh man, me and Mark had some Stella Rose. We smoked some Newports. He rubbed my feet. You know, we made love. I'd be like, look, cut it out, man. I don't want to hear all that shit. I don't want to hear all that. I'm not worried about what you and him were doing in the bedroom. Exactly, V. Exactly. Exactly. That's Mark's life. If Mark likes to be the bottom or he likes to be the top, that's Mark's prerogative. That's his life. What we don't want, what we don't know is if they're victims. If Mark has victims, yes or no. I don't care how many guys Mark sleep with. Does he like white guys, black guys, Mexican guys, fit guys? I don't like it. I don't care about his preference. All I care is that there's no victims. Because then, fuck, you know, if he was in there doing it and he's out here doing it, then, hey, he needs to be stopped immediately. He needs to be put a stop immediately. But no, this is just a relationship between him and another man. So now Mark's going to get put on trial for being in a relationship with another man. I could care less about that, man. That's that. And people always question me. Oh, you're always talking about the booty bandit. No, I'm exposing. These guys want to talk into the booty bandit. They want to get into Peanut. Hey, how did Mark get you? How big is Mark? Did Mark toss you up? Does Mark like to kiss and tell? So you want to know the whole detail of these guys' relationship in the bedroom, and that's your way of exposing Mark. I told y'all, we exposed him. Man, that's just bully tactics. That's messed up. That's messed up. Those are bully. That's being bully. The dude's gay, leave him alone. What we want to know, victims or no victims. That's it. I could care less if Mark likes to swallow, if Mark likes to toss salads. I could care less about that. I'm more concerned about Mark punching, breaking jaws, pushing blades to people's throats, and taking it against their will. That's what I'm concerned about. That's why I came on this journey. I didn't come on this journey to prove Mark was gay. We knew that from the beginning. And this has never been about anybody's sexual preference. It's always been about, did he do this or did he not? Yes or no. Victims, yes. Victims, no. Which one is it? Him being gay, we knew he was gay. There you go. Thank you, God Soldier. Thank you, man. You've been tuning in. Everything, see, like right now, they got a panel going over there talking about how Mark was doing it with Peanut. Who cares? That's like somebody calling you and be like, hey, what were you doing with your husband the night before? Or what were you doing with your girlfriend? Man, that's intimate personal problems, bro. Those are my intimate life. We're not, as long as this person's not calling 911 or saying that I'm doing something against their will, what does my personal life have to do with any of this? Now, I would understand if Mark had a mugshot or a police report saying, hey, you know, they caught Mark out here at the hotel and he was kind of aggressive after, you know, something of that nature. But Mark being fruity, that's just Mark being Mark. That's just Mark being Mark. I'll be back, y'all. I'll be back.